Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Obviously, by the title of this video, you already know that we're going to be talking about my July TBR. Before we do that, before we get into the video, if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That way you never miss another one of my videos. Before we get into my July TBR, let's talk about some of my most anticipated releases or some of the books that I'm excited that will be released in July. First up, we have Wilderness Reform by Matt Corey and Harrison Corey. These are the authors of Old Country, and that has been my favorite horror novel to this date of all time, okay? The way that they write their books is just exquisitely beautiful, very lyrical, but very creepy and eerie, and this one sounds so good. This one's going to be released July 2nd. Obviously, it's a horror, and it says, a terrifying novel about a wilderness camp for troubled teens that is plagued by mysterious events and disappearances, taking survival and discipline to a frightening extreme. This one kind of sounds like The Troop. I haven't read that book yet. That book has like very mixed reviews. Some people really loved it, some people didn't really like it, but the way that these authors write, I can't wait. I'm so excited to read this. Then we have The Love of My Afterlife. This one's by Christy Greenwood. It's going to be released July 2nd. This is a magical realism contemporary romance, and we all know how much I love magical realism. I just love how lyrical that type of genre can get, you know? A recently deceased woman meets the one in the afterlife waiting room, scoring a second chance at life and love if she can find him on Earth before 10 days are up. That sounds so good. Second chance romance, magical realism, contemporary romance. I am all about this. I'm so excited. Plus the cover is so beautiful as well. Then we have The Spell Shop. I mean, look at this cover. Look at how beautiful this cover is. I can't wait to read this. This is a cottagecore cozy fantasy, shall we say. This one is by Sarah Beth Durst. It'll be released July 2nd. A romantasy debut, a lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spellbooks, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and even sweeter love. Now, I was tempted to get the special edition of this one by Owlcrate. However, Owlcrate sometimes, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but sometimes I prefer the original covers of books compared to what Owlcrate does sometimes, you know? And so I didn't want to chance it. I love this cover already as it is, so I can't wait to read this because this is giving cozy cottage fantasy vibes, and I'm all about that, especially after reading Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I hope that this one delivers because this one's about a spell shop, a librarian. I'm so excited, you guys. Then we have a psychological thriller. This one's coming out July 9th, The Unraveling by V. Keeland. I've never heard of this author, but this book sounds right up my alley. It sounds creepy. It sounds so good. I can't wait. After experiencing a terrible loss, New York City psychiatrist Meredith McCall feels painfully adrift. When she crosses paths with a man with whom she has a tragic connection, she follows him, sparking an unhealthy obsession with Gabriel Wright. How is he doing so well while her life is in shambles? So basically, this is about probably a stalker romance type of thing where she just becomes psychotically obsessed with this man who is probably married because it just sounds like he is. Probably has an affair, a one-time affair, and then she becomes obsessed with him. This reminds me of Fatal Attraction, that movie Fatal Attraction. One of the classics, one of the best psychological thrillers I've seen. Then the last book that will be coming out July 16th is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I can't wait to read this. This is a contemporary romance, and it's a second chance romance, and I have never been so obsessed with second chance romances than I have recently been because I've read Same Time Next Summer. Is it the name of that book by that author? I'm being so vague. Okay, let me look so that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. After reading Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan, second chance romances have got to be one of my favorite tropes, aside from enemies to lovers, okay? And ex second chance romances. I normally don't really like when the ex comes back in the picture and that trope. I do now after reading Same Time Next Summer. So I'm hoping this one delivers and does not disappoint. Estranged exes must stick close together to save their best friend's wedding after a string of disasters in this swoony and steamy second chance romance. You know what got me? The cover, and because they're at a wedding and also it says steamy, I'm all in, you guys. I'm all in. Okay, so now let's move on to the books that I would like to get to this month. Starting off very strong, I'm currently reading both of these. The first one is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I love this. I love this. I think the male narrator of this book is his name Joe Arden? Aiden? I don't know. I'll put it here somewhere. His voice is so sexy, you guys. I love it. This is your typical grumpy sunshine, small town romance about a pop star who just is very overwhelmed with her life right now. She just wants to get away, so she decides to go to Rome, Kentucky, a very quaint, cute, small town. And there she meets, I think his name is Noah. Is his name Noah? Yeah. She meets Noah Walker, who happens to be a grump. And we love him for it, because as much as he thinks he's grumpy and he acts grumpy and he's very stoic and just doesn't want to fall for her, feelings unravel, you know? And so he owns a pie shop, which is the cutest thing. You meet his sisters, which we all love. You meet other side characters, which I'm in love with, and I'm just having a good time. This might be a 5-star. I'm throwing it out there. I'm on chapter 14, page 115, and I am enjoying this so much. I can't wait to see how the ending goes. Then we have, of course, you guys, of course, we have Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is why I didn't add it into my most anticipated new releases of this month, because I made it a whole day trip out of it to buy this book at Barnes. Once that video comes out, you guys will see it. It was so fun. I went with my husband. I had such a blast. But I can't tell you how much I am enjoying this. I'm only on page 124, chapter 17. We love where this story is going. However, I'm kind of a little bit nervous because I try not to be on TikTok when I'm reading the most anticipated, most popular releases, but somebody already said that people don't like the way this ended and yada yada yada. So I'm just gonna take that with a grain of salt, because right now I love it. I love it so much. I'm loving it. I'm loving being in this world. I'm loving the enemies to lovers vibe that these characters give off. I'm loving Kai's steamy, very sexy voice. I am loving where this is going. I'm loving this specific trope that I'm not gonna say what, because I don't want to ruin anything, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having such a great time, so you better believe that I'll be finishing it this month. Then we have Ashley Poston's A Novel Love Story. Let's just take a brief second to admire how beautiful this cover is. All her covers are like this, with bright, vibrant colors, matty, feely touch, floppy paperback. I love her books, okay? This is, again, I've talked about this, about a writer or a librarian who finds herself in this cute, quaint, small town that feels like it's come out of a fairy tale or a book. A romance novel. I'm sure there she is wanting to find romance and have that experience. That's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I just know that this author cannot do no wrong. I have read 2 of her books so far. This is my 3rd one, and her romances just hit so differently for me. I love it every single time I read one of her books. Then we have the last and final book of the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, and that is Hopeless. I don't know if I'm excited about the characters here. We're going to be following Bo, which is one of the brothers who has come back from the military, and we're following a bartender girl. So we will see how this goes. I don't really like Bo that much. Don't hate me. Like, Bo is okay. He just, as he popped in the last book, he's okay. So I feel like this book is going to be very emotional, because he's also dealing with specific things in his life he has to get past, you know, before he falls in love. So I'm assuming that this book is going to be very heavy on some topics and very emotional, but I stand by what I say so far, that my favorite book of the series, if I had to pick one, would be Reckless. That couple, Winter and Theo, they just have ruined me, okay, in the best way. Then we have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I am so sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. I do not know how to say her name. I am so sorry. But this is the first book in this little 4-book series. I don't even know the name of this series. All I know is that these are historical romances with a little bit of, at least this one has a mystery whodunit trope in it. And so I think what these books are about is that we're following these women who fall in love with a villain. Like, this one is Jack the Ripper. Then we have Dracula, which I'm so excited about. Then we have Houdini, and the last one is the devil. So I'm excited to see what the hype about these books are. I'm not a huge historical fan girly. I mean, I bend and break my rules all the time. Not that I don't like historical romances. I haven't read enough to absolutely love that genre. I'm excited about this though, because let me read you the back. He murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. This sounds so romantic. You know, we got Regency, we got probably a slow burn historical romance, and the guy's a bad guy. I'm so excited, you guys. I can't wait. I had to throw in here a couple of dark romances, okay? Actually two, and they're not they're not in order at all, but whatever. We have Butcher and Blackbird by Brianne Weaver, and this is the first book in this duology right now. I think there's going to be a third book. People have raved about this book. This is a dark serial killer rom-com. That's it. And people love it, especially if you pair it with the audiobook, which I have been doing ever since I've discovered I like audiobooks. I can't wait to read this. This is steamy, this is fun, there's great banter, and what I know about this one is that we're following two characters who obviously are serial killers, but they're kind of like Dexter in a way where they're murdering those people that are bad guys. And so they stumble upon each other and they make a bet. Whoever can catch this specific bad guy, they win, or something like that. Something like that along the lines where they place a bet and they're going after the same person to see who kills them first, which that sounds so good in a book, okay? In a book. I can't wait to read this. This is gonna be my hopeful for the month because it's so chunky and I'm still emotionally damaged a little bit by just my thoughts alone of what this book is gonna give me. I'm probably stressing out for no reason, but I just can't help it, okay? Don't tell me anything, no spoilers. I can't help it. And that is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is the last book in the Throne of Glass series. I need to finish this within the next couple of months because she is coming out with a sixth book from ACOTAR, and I still need to read Crescent City. And those are three chunky books that are 800 plus pages, plus the sixth book in the ACOTAR series. Okay, so I need to catch up because I love this author and I love all her work. And I don't like feeling behind because everybody hypes her up. And so I don't want to be the one left behind not being caught up because I don't want to spoil myself either. So I hopefully will try to get to it this month, if not next month, but this is going to be one of these books where I will start it after I've read some of the other books on my list first. And I just hope that this leaves me satisfied because this is the last book in the series. Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I have heard nothing but amazing, fantastic things about this book. I think it's only a 4-book series. I'm not sure, don't quote me on it. But this is the first book in the Kindred's Curse saga. I'm so excited because this is described as the same vibes that you get from the main character from Throne of Glass. You get the same badass female main character in this. You also get a very great main male character. I think his name is Luther. He's become everybody's favorite book boyfriend. That's how amazing of a character he is in these books. And so this, I have no idea what this is about and I don't really want to read the back. I just know that this has been everywhere in front of me, in my face. I bought this a while ago and I need to start reading it because I know I'm gonna get hooked, especially trying to get over Throne of Glass, and if I end up finishing that book and the withdrawals I will have from being in that world with those characters, this is probably your second best chance, I've heard anyway, so I'm excited. Savage Fae by Carolyn Pickham and Suzanne Valenti. This is the second book in the Ruthless Boy series. I have to read this interconnected series, or this series that you can combine with the Zodiac Academy series, before I start books 3 and so forth of Zodiac Academy because I'm reading it in that order. So I can't wait. I don't know why I'm putting this off so much. I just feel like all these books are so chunky that it's hard for me to stop and not want to read shorter books on my TBR, you know? But I'm excited. I've been super excited about this because the way the first book ended, I don't even know how I'm still on book 2, let's just say. And then these two books are psychological thrillers. I don't really have high hopes that I'll finish these, considering I have very thick fantasy books I want to get through this month. But these are my hopefuls and the books that I'll be throwing in between if I'm craving a thriller. So the first one is The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. This is the second book in the, I don't know what the name of the trilogy is so far. Right now, there's 3 books out. This is the second book, and this is following, I believe, a different character with a different family that she has to be their housemaid sort of thing. Don't go into the guest bedroom. A shadow falls on Douglas Garrett's face as he touches the door with his fingertips. My wife, she's very ill. As he continues showing me their incredible penthouse apartment, I have a terrible feeling about the woman behind closed doors, but I can't risk losing this job, not if I want to keep my darkest secret safe. I really like these books because, you know, I thought it was going to follow the same girl, Millie. Maybe it does. I don't know. Don't tell me, but maybe it does. But I really like these books because not only every chapter leaves you wanting more, but it's psychological thrillers. And when there's a marriage involved and one of the people in the marriage is crazy, well, I'm assuming the wife is crazy in this one, and there's secrets and the housemaid is just there trying to do her job, but she also has secrets. Like, come on, that is the best recipe for an amazing psychological thriller. I mean, hands down. Then the last book on the list is Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. This one I've talked about. It was in my recent book haul video. I'm excited about this one. I'm also very hesitant and scared because it, you know, hits too close to home. It's about kids and a mom, and they are in her house. They are in their home, and there is a serial killer or a murderer or a stalker lurking around and also inside her house. The mom has to figure out how to survive the night with this person trying to assuming harm them and her children, which is the scariest thing ever because I have kids, and if that ever happened to me, God forbid, you guys. Anyways, yeah, I can't wait to read this. I'm very excited. Ashley Audrin, the best-selling author of The Push, wrote this. The most gripping psychological thriller I've ever read. Heart-thumping and mesmerizing, a masterclass in tension and terror. It's also a creative, thoughtful portrait of maternal fear and love. That little last snippet, I have to read it. I know this is going to be a turmoil of a read for me because of the topics in it, because of the mom and the kids, but nonetheless, I'm very excited to read this. Okay, so there you have it. Those are all the books that I'm hoping to get through this month. I hope I get through them this month, you guys. I always make my TBRs very big and very ambitious, but I do it on purpose because I am an annoying mood reader, and so I'm not always in the mood to read the same genre or specific kinds of books. So these, my TBRs are always like hopeful TBRs. I do at least read 50% of my TBR, which is nice. So I kind of throw in a little bit of everything because I don't really know what I'm going to be craving. Hopefully I get through most of these, and we'll see in my wrap up. But there you have it. That's it. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye!